Welcome into Centre Court, thanks to Cobram Estate, Australia's most awarded extra virgin olive oil, grown, harvested and first cold pressed in Northern Victoria. Centre Court is where we take a deeper look at the athletes, coaches and the voices who define netball in Australia. The conversation unfolds in 4 quarters, giving our guests room to share who they are away from netball, the highs and the lows of their career and the future they are building beyond the court. It is honest, it's reflective and it's the side of the game that you don't always get to see. Today's guest is Melbourne Vixens and West Coast Fever premiership defender, a towering presence on court and a creative force off it. It is Rudi Ellis. Rudi, thank you for coming to the couch. Welcome in.
Thanks for having me, Kels.
I'm excited to talk to you today about all things happening off the court. Let's start there first. We do start every single episode by asking our guests a simple question. Thanks to Priceline, we know health and beauty. What season of life is Rudi Ellis in right now?
I'm in season. Are we talking about netball seasons?
No, just whatever season. However, we had Maisie Nankerville say she's in spring.
Yeah.
You can answer it however you like.
I reckon I feel autumn. I'm actually true to what we are currently. I think we're having some beautiful sunny days and then we're getting a little bit chillier at the same time. So I'm feeling autumn.
Are you in wifey season as well? Is that the area of it?
A little bit, yeah.
Still settling into what it's like to be a wife?
I feel like not a single thing has changed, which has actually been a beautiful part about it. I think we had such a good foundation as a friendship and relationship beforehand, and not much has changed.
How long were you and Tim together prior to getting married? It's been a long time.
Yeah, about 8 years, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, long time. I know we've almost hit 10 years, but Tim reckons that we reset it now, we start anniversary when we got married, but I'm like, no, I've done all this hard work, 8 years hard work, can't go to waste.
Don't cut out the previous 8 years. Day to day, what does it look like for Rudi Ellis? We obviously know that you're a part of the Melbourne Vixens who are top of the table and killing it, but what does a day in the life look like for you?
I think just, as much sleep as I can get. Love to see friends, love to go to the beach when I can. It's a little bit different to going to the beach in Perth, as you can imagine. But no, it's been really great being back in Melbourne, being with family, seeing people and, of course, training as hard as we can too. You've
spoken a lot about growing up and how that shaped you in the childhood that you had. You grew up on a beautiful farm, is that right?
We grew up here, there and everywhere, Kels. Literally mum's from country New South Wales, dad's from Eltham in Victoria. They met each other and then we've basically been here, there and everywhere since. I went to boarding school 7 to 12 in Sydney, but we've lived on the northern beaches, we've lived in the Central Coast, we've lived in the country, and then all overseas as well. So lots of different places, but mum and dad now live near Mansfield, which is about 2 hours out of Melbourne.
I need to ask you, because we all have our opinion on where you are from.
Yeah,
where do you identify? Are you a New South Wales girl or a Victorian?
No, I'd say New South. I think wherever you do your netball junior pathway is kind of where you claim, but no, I think, having spent most of my time in Sydney and New South, I'd say that. But borderline Victoria now with mum and dad being over.
Yeah, I know, and we can get to that later. Your netball journey has seen you play in so many different states. You're now in Victoria, obviously born and raised in New South Wales.
Yeah.
But there's so many parts that make you who you are, and that's what we love about Centre Court, is that we celebrate not just the netballer on the court, but what makes you you off it. Yeah. Completed a Bachelor of Professional Communications Journalism at RMIT. Now, RMIT is an amazing university.
Yeah, did you go there?
No, I didn't at all, but I just know that people who have gone there...
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing culture, and the degree that you've chosen, you're now utilising in terms of netball and building your personal brand off it as well. Can you speak to us about that?
100%. It was so good, I think, having something to focus on outside of netball, while I was in those junior years, but it's been awesome being able to dabble in work experiences post that. But even while you're in your degree, you get to do a part of it that is experience, actually working in journalism sort of based environments, which I think was a really healthy and cool way of doing it. It wasn't just your education piece, you actually got real life experience. So really enjoyed it.
How do you feel like that translates now to, we know that netballers are often trying to fight for sponsorships and trying to put themselves out there on social media. I feel like you're one of the ones that does it really, really well in celebrating who you are off the court, but also still being a netballer. Do you find that your degree has helped you push the boundaries in that avenue as well?
Definitely, and I think netball can just get bigger and better in that degree. I think like we see other sports, there are so many opportunities there, but I think, if we can take the initiative as players and then also have the backing of our sport, there is, a lot more opportunity out there, I think, with brands.
Well, let's talk about brands because you have just come out with a shoe collection. It's been an exciting, week for you. Yes, show the camera. So what are these ones called?
These ones are called the GGs.
The GGs.
Pretty sure, yep, the GGs.
And you've got 4 different
Yes, we've
pairs?
got 4 different pairs. One of them's a wedding bridal shoe, and then the other 3 are kind of in autumn sort of feel, actually. Yep.
That's the season.
Yeah, exactly. That's the season.
Talk to us about the wedding one, though. It's an interesting story with how it all came about.
Yeah, I just could not find a pair of heels that I liked that one suited the dress, but 2 didn't make me 8 foot tall. So it was really nice to be able to go to Kat, who's the owner of Naked Soul, and actually design a shoe that suited both. So I was very happy. Could dance all night in them, which was awesome.
Talk to us about the launch. You've just had that.
During
this
yesterday.
week. Yeah, and so this episode, when it comes out, you can definitely jump online and we'll get to where you can buy the shoes in a second. But you had so many amazing people at your launch. You obviously got to handpick who you would have wanted there. You had Melbourne Vixens, you had Melbourne Mavericks, Beck Judd was there. So many people that have come together to celebrate you and your shoe launch. Are they from different avenues of life that you've been involved in? Yeah,
and I think just passionate, netballers, athletes, love the sporting world, and it was so special to have so many people there from lots of different walks of life. But just an awesome brand, I think, just because they do celebrate tall women and people with big feet and just, that sort of, part of things. But it was a really special night.
Where can we get the shoes? I'm going to get my hands on a pair. I've got my eyes on the blue ones.
What size are you?
I'm a size 8. I don't want to freestyle. I'm going to go buy it. But where can you get a pair?
You can get them at nakedsoul.com.
And on your Instagram as well, there's obviously a link that would
Yep, I'll make sure that's there.
Love that. Now let's turn our attention to quarter 2, where we dive headfirst into your netball journey, thanks to Cobram Estate, Australia's most awarded extra virgin olive oil, grown, harvested and first cold pressed in northern Victoria. Pre-SSN, pre-Rudi Ellis, who we know as a superstar and a 2-time premiership player. You mentioned the fact that you lived in all different countries all around the world. Prior to going to boarding school, it really wouldn't have been in your mindset to be a netballer, or that is where you would end up your career going, just because of where you lived. And can you give us some insight into the countries and why you were living overseas at the time?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so netball definitely wasn't on my bingo cards until probably year 7, really. But Dad's work just meant that we travelled everywhere. He sort of would run the sort of blue scope factory wherever we were in each country, predominantly Asian countries. But we lived in India, we lived in China, Sri Lanka, Malaysia, Papua New Guinea. Trying to think. There's quite a few of them, but and Thailand a couple of times. And the whole time I was at boarding school, they were in Thailand, mum and dad and my brother, and he came over, he's 2 years younger, once he was ready to start. And initially I was like, what have I done wrong to go to boarding school? I thought I was in trouble, but ended up being the best thing ever, just having consistency with education, but also the ability to play netball and just, have some roots, I guess, in one place.
For someone who has lived in the one place their whole life.
Yeah, very jealous of you.
No, give us some insight, because I think for me, that sounds really chaotic and really hard. Was it hard growing up in different countries, or do you sort of look at it like, wow, you got some amazing experiences and you've got to live in different cultures?
Probably the latter. I think it was just incredible, and sometimes I wish I could remember more of it, just because when you're junior it's mainly photo sort of recognition, but no, it was unreal. I think you just immerse yourself in such different cultures and countries and ways of life, and God, it makes you appreciate what we have here in Australia and just fresh air. I remember every time we came back from Asia, and especially China, for instance, it was just so polluted. You get off the plane, you can just breathe fresh air in again and see the stars and things like that. So I think, it made us so grateful to come home in between each trip away, but also just, really cool to immerse ourselves in different cultures and try different foods, learn different languages. Didn't learn a whole lot because we obviously were moving so much, but it was a really cool experience, and I'm super grateful for the childhood we had.
When you talk about year 7 and being in boarding school and starting to play netball, was it love at first sight for netball, or was it something that I know, and I don't ever want to comment on height or body, but it's also, we often say oh, you're tall, so you went into netball. Did you get poached to play, or was it, I really want to do this and I can see the girls having fun and I want to be with my friends? What was it for you?
I played lots of sports growing up, and like even in year 7, 8 and 9 played quite a few, but then I think what really drew me to netball was the people, and I think as well actually being able to break out of boarding school and have a home cooked meal like before a rep carnival and that kind of thing. Like it really is a pretty special, unique culture at netball, and I think compared to other sports is something that really drove me to keep playing and put all my eggs in that basket. But so grateful for the sport and what it gave me as that sort of outlet outside of school.
We're going to touch on it with your netball journey and just how often you've moved. But as I'm sitting here reading it, I sometimes forget that you were at the Firebirds and that's where you started.
No, we played them on the weekend.
Yeah,
it's changed a little bit.
We talk about you growing up in New South Wales. You're now in Victoria. You've spent time over in the West, and we probably know you as a Fever Vixen player. But you did spend
Firebirds as well. Queensland. I pretty much lived in every state, I think, but Tassie and maybe the NT. ACT.
They're the only two, and Canberra. That is. Oh,
and Adelaide too.
Well.
There are a few. Maybe there's a few more to tick off.
Don't tell Vixens that you're off contract at the end of this year. But talk to us about your debut game for the Firebirds. Do you remember it?
We played Vixens and I think we lost by 20 or 30 points. It was like first time ever playing Super Shot because it was the first year it had been introduced into the league. We had no idea how to defend it. Opposite game. So it was a bit of a bittersweet moment. I think COVID as well, like we weren't allowed to have family or friends in the crowd. So it was an interesting experience, but still the most amazing experience at the same time.
It's probably not what you expect. You always plan your debut to be in front of your whole family and friends and you're winning the game and you're taking the winning intercept.
Exactly.
Talk to us about the process though of figuring out how to defend a Super Shot when you've grown up playing with a 1-point traditional netball and then coming 100%. In thrust into this in your first season.
I think it was like Katie Thwaites and MJ at the time too,
so
two 2-point specialists, and I was like, oh, can I go home now? But no, it was it's just like it's such a mindset change, I guess. Like it's opposite days when you're doing the 1-point defence and then switching into that 2. But I think it just brings so much excitement into the sport, being able to have those 2 points and keep teams in the game if there is a bit of a blowout in that 1-point time.
So you made the decision to go from the Firebirds over to Fever, and there was a big question mark over it at the time because you had been getting court time at the Firebirds, but then were maybe going to join a team that had the likes of a Courtney Bruce playing in that goalkeeper role. Can you talk us through the decision to move and why it felt right for you at the time?
Yeah, I think in hindsight maybe wasn't the most sensible decision for me, just in terms of actually getting experience out there on court. But at the same time, like I got to train on Janelle, who I think is one of the best shooters in the world. Got to train with Courts and Sunday, and had some amazing coaches and people around me at the time. And Tim's from Perth, like my partner, so I think being able to have his family and a few friends and stuff already there made it a lot easier to move. But I guess it was hard not getting out there on court as much, but in terms of the training environment, I feel like I learnt a lot and grew a lot.
When you reflect on the premiership that you won in 2022, it's an exciting time winning a premiership, but it also sometimes feels a little bit different when you're maybe not in and amongst the team and the playing. You had opportunities that year, and you definitely were a massive part of why they'd ended up where they were. And I think the training environment we don't often put enough emphasis on. We see the game days at the end of the week or at the end of a season when you're lining up for a grand final, but sometimes you forget that it's the people going up against Janelle at training. And I have heard from the Fever environment that Janelle hated going up against you at training.
I hate playing her.
So it must have been a mutual respect. What did you learn about your game and what you could implement to stop one of the greatest shooters in the world, especially in that environment?
Yeah, I think Janelle is like such a special person in the sense that she actually, like when you're out there on court at training and stuff, will give you pointers like, no, Rudes, try and get off here, or try and jump here. And she's just got so much wisdom, it's not funny. Super competitive coming up against her, like post-leaving Fever as well. But I feel like being able to practice on someone like that week in, week out helped a lot. Yeah.
When you reflect on the premiership, do you remember the night out afterwards?
Yeah.
The celebrations, were they fun?
Yeah, they were fun. We rocked up to a press conference, I think, the next morning with sunnies on, which wasn't the best look, but no, it was a really fun experience. And I think then being able to do it with the Vixens last year as well, it's just, there's nothing like it.
Well, let's move on to you making making the decision then to leave Fever to the Vixens, probably one that made a little bit more sense just for the court time that was available at the time. But what made you most excited about joining the Vixens? I know when you're on the outside of the Vixens environment, you look at it as a very professional outfit. Is that what drew you to Simone McInnes and the standards that the girls were setting at the time?
100%, and I loved it being a training partner there a few years beforehand. Like, I think it's such a special core group of people and staff, and I think, like you said, the professionalism is just insane. Like, I think out of all the amazing clubs I've been part of, Vixens really does set that standard in terms of training intensity and all the work you do outside of being on the court. But it's such a special, unique environment, and I'm so happy to be back.
When you were a training partner there, now you return a little bit older with some more netball under your belt. What was the biggest change you noticed from when you started as a training partner to showing up now with the culture and maybe how things had changed? Or was it very much the same?
I would say it's quite similar, which is amazing, like that long on. I think it's a testament to the club and the way that they've run things for so long. It's very similar, which is really cool.
You got to debut for the Diamonds, number...
192.
192, great number.
Yeah, it is a cool number.
Do you remember your debut game and getting told to go on there? I always love hearing people's stories of, singing the national anthem. We know how special that is, but the moment you get told that you're going on for the first time, do you remember it?
Yeah, or even the call being like told I was going to be like in the squad. Like, I remember sitting on the couch like, oh my God, Stace, like, are you sure? I'm pretty sure I said. I was just, couldn't believe it. But that moment being told that I got Michelle Dendecker was there and presented my dress, and I think, then being told that I'd actually, be part of that, on the bench and part of game day was just incredible. Like, honestly, what I guess you dream of as a little girl, or a 12-year-old, whenever I started netball. But it was a very special moment.
We always talk about the Diamonds culture on here because it's nice to get an insight into what it's like, and it has evolved over the years. Sisters in Arms has been around for such a long period of time, but when you went into the Diamonds environment, you hadn't been there, but a lot of the players had, and they were a core group. Did you feel comfortable going into that culture and knowing what it was about? And can you give us, all the listeners, a bit of an insight into how you would view the Diamonds culture?
It's incredible. Like you said, I think it has been that core group for such a long time, but they really do welcome, I guess, the newbies that come in and out as well. I think they make a really big effort to get to know the player outside of the netballer, the person outside of the netballer, sorry. And I think it really was a really amazing thing to step into, because you've got these, amazing players, but also amazing people that want to get to know you and include you. So speak very highly of it.
When you reflect on your netball journey, and let's we've touched on all the amazing achievements that you've had, Diamonds, 2-time premiership player, still writing your story, that's for sure, and still plenty more to come, no doubt. You've had some injury struggles along the time. I know that knee has caused you some issues. What was the knee injury? And I know that you're still having to get it taped and you're still having to deal with that. That clearly was a really tough period in your life, having to deal with surgery and coming back from an injury that is a knee, especially in netball when they are so critical.
Yeah, 100%. I think being taller as well, like, it was always going to sort of be that knee focus. But I think it was my second year or first year at Firebirds, tore my meniscus then and had surgery. And I think because I haven't found something, I guess, that replaces meniscus just yet, you do get that wear and tear on the joint. So I've had issues with it for those initial couple of years. But I'd actually say since coming back here, it's been unreal, like, touch wood. But it's just feeling the best it probably ever has. I feel like I haven't missed a session in a really long time, and just running and fitness-wise, I feel like it's holding up, which is great.
You seem like one of the players who is incredibly fit for how tall you are and how you move around the court. Is that something that you've always prided yourself on? Have you always been incredibly athletic, or have you had to work really hard?
I reckon with the running, definitely working. Worked hard. I think coming back to Vixens is a bit of a reality shock with having to run, especially the long distance stuff. But I think it's each year has been a build, and I feel like finally I've found my sort of place with the running, and love hitting the gym and getting strong, because I think the more you can get that strength around your knees, the better protected they are.
I know, I say that all the time. I've lost some quad strength at the moment, but I'm like, to protect these knees, I need these quaddies back.
Yep, you do, all for the big quaddies.
When we talk about your netball too, it's a journey that, you know, sometimes when I'm talking to people as guests, they've got one team. We spoke to Emily Mannix. She's played at the same club for her whole career.
Yeah.
You haven't had the privilege of being able to do that, but the journey of having to move and set up home can be a disruptive one, can be difficult. How would you reflect on the fact that every couple of years you were having to move and set up a home? You bought a house in Perth, you bought a car. There was every place that you go to, you have to sort of start again.
Yeah.
Has it taught you a lot? Would you change your journey, or has every single place, Queensland, Perth and Melbourne, taught you something different?
I think, definitely look at people like Malone's, who played, you know, her 200th game for one club, and think, wow, that would be so incredible to have done that. But at the same time, I think it really has taught me so much with each of my moves and different, you know, lives over in Asia as well, and then, Sydney and different states around Australia. But playing for different clubs, sort of learning from different players along the way, different coaches. I think it's been such a benefit. I feel like I really want to, have my roots in Melbourne now and hopefully not have to move again, ever again. But I think the experience of, being at lots of different clubs and different countries and cities has taught me a lot, and wouldn't change it for the world.
Well, you're off contract at the end of this year, as is everyone in
the
everyone in the competition.
Yeah.
You would have been around for the last CBA negotiations, but is it exciting to know that you're off contract, or is it a bit stressful?
Oh, a little bit stressful.
Yeah. Say the latter.
It's nice to have security, I think. So I think, the sooner that sort of gets organised, the better, I think, for everyone. But I think at the minute, everyone's just trying to focus on each game and, training environment and that kind of thing, and not trying to think too much about, the future.
What about Vixens this year? You're sitting top of the ladder. You're doing incredibly well.
Different to last year.
Yeah, and I think people probably didn't put you there, even though you won the grand final last year. I think that was a snatch that away from the Fever in the end. I don't think anyone thought that the Vixens were going to win that game. So it's a different feeling now. You're now the hunted.
Yeah.
How do you feel going into the second half of this season, knowing that the pressure is different?
I think we've tried to, as a group, not position ourselves as the hunted. I think we play better when we're the underdogs, and we really fight for every game. And I think every team has really brought it to us this year so far, and they'll continue to do so. So I think it's just a mindset thing, and we just want to each week really challenge ourselves, try to change things up, but just have a good mindset around it.
Can't wait to see what the Vixens do for the rest of this season. Before we get a little bit deeper, Ruse, let's add some sugar thanks to Struddies. Gear up this season with Struddies. Shop with Struddies because they're your buddies. Struddies.com.au. Okay, we've got some quick fire questions. One player, past or present, you'd love to play with?
Shani Layton.
Ah,
yeah.
Are you GK or are you GD?
No, I reckon she's GD.
Send her out.
Make her run.
Get her out there. Most underrated teammate you've ever had?
I reckon Kate Eddy.
Fourth person, I think,
really?
to say that. Yeah.
Justice for kids.
Why is she so underrated, do you think?
I think she has been rated in moments, but I'd love to see her in the Diamonds one day. I think she's just a workhorse, and she's, I think consistently so good for us. And I think wing defence can sometimes be a bit of an underrated position, but she does a lot of work for us.
It's thankless, and she still racks up the stats. Some wing defences
can't
rack up stats.
And intercepts.
Yeah, and they're still so dominant. Best piece of advice you've ever been given?
I think from Dad, I think just when it comes to like setbacks and I think challenges and stuff in life, I think he's always told me to really take from those and then grow from them. So really try to bring that into my life.
Are you a quote lover?
Not really, no. Don't remember a whole lot when it comes to quotes, so don't test me on that, please.
Okay, no worries. Favourite moment of your career so far?
I think this one's probably predictable, but I think last year's grand final, I think it was just the most amazing game I've ever played in. I think being at Rod Laver, having a crowd that was all ours pretty much. Simone's last game, I just think, we were playing for so much. It was such a close game and such a hard season, I guess, being the underdogs the whole way through. But it was just incredible. Got a tattoo to prove for it too.
Oh, what's the tattoo?
We've all got Vix. So IX on like our feet. Mine's tiny. I think Joey and I got the smallest ones, but the girls sometimes, they've got them here.
Really?
Feet, ankles, everything.
What are you going to do if you go back to back?
Maybe get a little dash next to it.
Square.
Yep. Say squared, but what happens if we win 3?
Vix 2, +1.
+1.
Something.
End up with a whole maths
We can
equation
find a way. Don't
foot.
ask me to design it. That was terrible. Did you go to the pub?
Yes, we did go to the pub.
How was it?
Yeah,
3 days
fun. It
worth
was a
of
lot
pub?
of fun. Yeah, it's like a week worth of the pub.
Now we've had our sugar, let's get into the more personal conversations. Now, we've had so many different topics and people come on and share their stories. And I did ask you prior to jumping on this podcast, anything that you are passionate about, and you spoke about mental health. Elite sport comes with pressure, scrutiny, everything under the sun, rejections.
Yeah.
Moving now, CBA negotiations, job insecurity. There's so much that comes with it. Do you think your mental health has been something that you've had to learn a lot more about through the process? I feel like when we're younger, we're often it's not spoken about. And then when you get into elite sport, it's something that you have to delve into. Can you talk to us about your mental health journey?
Yeah, 100%. I think, like you said, growing up, it's not something that's talked about a whole lot. And yeah, throughout school, you don't really learn anything as well. And I think for me, it was, maybe for my first contract moving up to Queensland, being away from family, friends, everything I kind of knew, it was tough. And I think then COVID thrown into the mix, you don't really see everyone nearly as much. And there was lots of different rules, regulations around how you sort of live life. And I feel like that did affect me personally a little bit. And I guess like you've got the highs and lows of the season, you know, being out there on court, injuries, lots of different things that get thrown into the mix. But I think the older I get and each year and experience I have with netball and just life in general, how important it is to like look after yourself and get help and like speak to people about it openly, because I think that's the only way you kind of can, feel better in a way.
When you speak about speaking openly, sometimes it's really hard to be vulnerable, and it's something I think we all struggle with, especially in elite sport, admitting that maybe you're not coping that well with the workload or the pressure that's coming with it. How did you deal with the vulnerability piece and trying to be open with people?
Yeah, I think everyone in my team and everyone close to me knows I'm a big crier, so I think I can be quite open initially, but I think, it's a hard thing to be like that. Not everyone is like that. And I know Tim, like my partner's the opposite. He's quite reserved with how he feels, but I think it helps me to be able to offload and talk through my feelings, and whether that's seeing a psych or talking to a friend or a coach or whoever it is, it's a hard thing to do, but God, it helps, I think, being able to voice how you're feeling and for them to have an understanding with whatever environment you're in, to change things that way, I suppose.
How often do you try and speak to a psych? And I think there's often a lot of taboo around seeking help or speaking to a psych. And I know sometimes when you say to people, oh, my psych, or I speak to someone, you get a reaction sometimes. I think it's changed now. But are you a massive advocate for having a psych?
100%. Yeah. And I don't see one consistently all the time, but I feel like it has helped me a lot. And I think especially with years where we're out of contract or there's selection, things happening with netball or, personal things happening in your life, like it really is great to be able to speak to someone who knows how to give you like an educated response, and help you sort of build those, strengths to combat how you're feeling and how you can react in certain situations and environments. But it can be a tough thing to talk about, but I think it's so important to talk to people, whether that is professional or not. But I see a lot of value in seeing a psych.
You seem like a person who bounces back from hardship quickly. You seem like a very bubbly person, and someone who just gets on with the next challenge. But clearly, being emotional and crying, I find such a powerful tool. How do you know when Rudi is getting to a point where things are overwhelming? Is there signs within you that you can read?
Yeah, I think I literally cry. Like I get to that point where it's like, everything bottles up, and often it's like in the car or at home or something like that. But I feel like it bottles, and then I get that release, and then I feel like, okay, I've had my cry, I've had my talk about it all, I'm ready to move on and get the help either to do that or work it out myself. But I think it's a super healthy thing to do, and it makes you feel a lot better.
I know, I love crying. I'm right there with you, girl. When we talk about selections and the challenges that come around that, we know that we're heading into a Commonwealth Games year. You've had a taste of the Diamonds environment and being involved in it. Everyone is playing for their selection in the squad at the moment. How are you feeling with that on the horizon?
Yeah, look, I'd obviously love to be a part of it all if the opportunity presents itself, but I know that there's been some amazing performances from so many defenders in the league, so we'll just see how it unfolds. But if I get any opportunity, I'd be absolutely stoked, but also otherwise just really want to focus on finishing our Vixens campaign and going back to back.
We know those phone calls that happen with Diamond selection. Do you get nervous? Is there a feeling of anxiety? Yeah, it's crazy.
100%, because you normally get told like what time and what day it's happening, and you sort of go off like alphabetical order, like when you're going to be next. And I think it is a bit of a build up in the lead up to that, but again, it's just all part of it. Sport.
Yes, it's sport. It's all part of it. If we were to wrap up this section and talk about the challenges that have come along the way, is there a challenge that you have dealt with that you remember really vividly as almost a changing point for you, or has changed the trajectory of the way that your career has gone? Is there a setback or a disappointment that shaped you?
I don't think maybe one in particular, but like lots of different ones along the way. I think, with lots of different moves and environments and court time and not court time and selection, not selection, I think it's honestly been a journey, and I think each time I again learn something and can take from that. But it's been lots of different experiences. I think that's got me to this point.
Lastly, let's finish on a positive note here and talk about your relationship with Tim, because I know dating a professional athlete, can speak from experience, can sometimes be a really challenging thing. Their career can be going great, yours can be going terribly, you can be winning, they can be losing, dealing with injuries and the emotions that come with riding the wave of two different seasons. How do you and Tim manage that?
We just pretty much have a policy of we just don't talk about it when we get home. Like, we do if we want to, but I feel like it's just such a nice environment to just get back and just completely switch off. Like, whether it's playing Mario Karts against each other or going for a walk or doing, home DIYs, whatever it is. I think it's so great to have an environment where we just can switch off, but we've got each other, I guess, like if we need each other, which is nice.
Beautiful. We are coming to the end of the podcast now. Rudi, it's been a pleasure to sit down and talk to you about all things your journey, but this is the part we love. It's the Legacy Quarter, thanks to HCF. It's a chance to reflect. We look back, we also look forward at the legacy that you are building. But we have a question to start this quarter. What is your HCF moment that matters? Now, I'll explain this.
Yes.
This could be anything from a moment in time where something twigged in your brain, or something that you're most proud of, or a really special memory.
I guess something that I value a lot in life is just like being a good human. I think, I want to obviously be like remembered as a good netballer as much as I can be, but I think just want to, the relationships that I've made along the way and the impact I've made off the court is, I think what's most important to me.
So when you talk about being proud of being a good human, what does a good human mean to you?
I think just like reaching out to teammates if they need you, like being that listener, helping, I guess, those younger players coming through as much as you can with like whether, being on-court advice or off-court advice. I think having moved a lot, I've got, lots to offer in terms of, starting fresh somewhere and, setting your roots down and learning a new environment and that kind of thing. But I think that's something that's important to me.
Have you taken a Maggie Karras under your wing?
Yes, I love Mag. She's awesome. She's such a good human, I think. And I know she's going to go on to do amazing things. So I can't wait to see her grow even more.
So if we're talking about Rudi Ellis, and we've touched on so many things about your netball career, but also everything that you're doing out of it, the shoe launch, you're trying to put tall girls on the map in terms of helping them with footwear. If we're talking about Rudi Ellis, English, in 10 years' time, what legacy do you hope to have left? And maybe this is, where do you hope to be? Are you still around netball? Are you a journalist? Are you, where are you working? What are you doing? Paint the picture for us. What does Rudi Ellis's life look like in 10 years?
Well, hopefully I'm not still playing netball because, there's people that have done it, but I don't know if my knees would be able to do it. But no, I think I would love to potentially go into the sports management space and help young athletes both like balance like the contracting and negotiation side of things, but then also the brand deals and sponsorships, and just be able to like maximise that time that they are athletes, because I feel like we do have great representation in that management space, but not female orientated. And I think you've got Alex Saundry, who's doing an amazing job, but there really aren't many that are, are female that are representing in that space. So I think it would be a really cool thing to go into. But also, like, I love the tall girl thing. I feel like I really struggle finding pants and clothes that are long enough. So potentially even looking at, doing a fashion line like Tim and I, which could be cool because he really struggles as well. And I feel like we always sort of have to, order from overseas or try new things. So yeah, starting something together like that could be really cool. And then, I don't know what else. I think, we'll definitely be watching the netball and being around the netball, but I think I'm pretty happy to,
step aside.
Probably not be a coach or, anything like that. It'd be, awesome sitting on the sideline, having a drink, watching the girls in the future. But, whether it be that sports management space or potentially journalism, I think, sports media is awesome. So, it could be cool. I always wanted to be the getaway host.
Oh,
I don't know if
you could do that.
If that could be, a job in 10 years' time. But,
yes.
being able to travel and, I don't know, talk about the troubles. But
can't wait to go back on this in 10 years' time and be like, getaway host, tick, clothing brand that's national,
awesome,
global, sorry. I can't wait to see all of these things maybe come to fruition. But my question, I guess, just lastly off that, in terms of netball and seeing that the brand space and wanting to go into that, where do you think netball can get to, and what brands would you love to see jump on board and with these amazing female athletes? We talk about the caliber of people and players that we have in our sport. Where do you think netball can get to?
Oh, I think netball can grow and grow and grow. I think you see, female sport in so many different codes just excelling at the minute. And I think netball is just so unique in the fact that we really are female dominated with, grassroots up, such a strong sport and so celebrated within Australia. So I think it would be so awesome for more brands to be involved and jump on board. And I also think like netballers are good humans. I think that, every girl that I've met in this netball world has been such a great person, and I think they would represent brands in such a great way. So I really do hope that we continue to grow as a sport and brands, want to be part of this because it is so special. And you have so many people that don't watch a whole lot of netball and they come to a game and they're like, oh my God, I love it. It's so exciting. It's fast. It's physical. So I think the more exposure we can get, the better. And I think brands will want to be a part of it because I think it is a really super special sport.
I can't wait to see you lead the way when it comes to brand deals and pushing the boundaries for athletes that maybe you manage in future. At the moment, though, all the best for the rest of the Vixen season.
Thanks.
All the best for the shoe sales and everything that you've got going on with Naked Soul shoes. I love them. I think everyone should jump on and buy a pair. I'll be wearing them overseas, and also I might wear them courtside for an NBA game.
Oh, that could be fun. Oh my God, watch out.
But we can't wait to see what you do for the rest of the season, and can't wait to see you write the rest of your journey on and off the court.
Thank you, good luck.
This has been another episode of Centre Court, thanks to Cobram Estate, Australia's most awarded extra virgin olive oil, grown, harvested and first cold pressed in North Victoria.